Hello, everyone, and welcome to Replacement Player Baseball. We are here for Game 3, the rubber match of the opening series of the season between the Chicago Cubs and the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers won the first game behind a strong pitching performance of Brandon Woodruff, and the Cubs posted a big rally against the Brewers bullpen to win the second game. And now, here we are, Game 3, to determine who wins this series to start out the 2020 season. For the Cubs, manager David Ross is going to start out with leadoff hitter Jason Hayward, playing right field, followed by second baseman David Fletcher, also batting second, first baseman Anthony Rizzo, shortstop Javier Baez, left fielder Kyle Schwarber, third base Chris Bryant, catcher Wilson Contreras, center fielder Albert Almora, and the pitcher will be Jose Quintana, making his first start of the season. For the Brewers, Craig Counsell's team will lead off with Lorenzo Cain in center field, Avisail Garcia in right field, Christian Yelich in left, Keston Hiura playing second, Logan Morrison playing first, Orlando Arcia playing short, Omar Narvaez catching, and Eric Sogard at third. Adrian Hauser will be the Brewers starter. So, let's get this game started. Hauser is on the mound to face Jason Hayward, the Cubs leadoff hitter, batting from the left side. One ball, two strike count. Hauser looks in, looks for the sign, and here's the pitch. And Hayward starts out with ripping a shot into the gap in right center field. He is going around first base with a big turn. He's going to slide into second and lead the game off with a double. David Ross might really be onto something here with Hayward batting leadoff. This will bring up David Fletcher, acquired in a trade during spring training, batting with Hayward on second and nobody out. Here's the first pitch, and Fletcher knocks one directly up the middle over second base. Hayward is coming around third. He is trying to score, but it looks like he is going to be out at home. The throw beat out Hayward by about 5 steps to home plate. Fletcher, however, because the throw went directly home, was able to advance to second base. So, Cubs had a scoring opportunity. Hayward is thrown out at second. Hayward is thrown out at home. Fletcher is still standing at second, with Rizzo now batting, 1 out in the top of the first. First pitch to Rizzo, and he hits a base hit into left field. Oh, but a diving Sogard stops it getting into left field. Excellent defensive play. Sogard throws out Rizzo at first. He dusted himself off a little there, showing me who knew what was going on. So we still have Fletcher at third base, Fletcher at second base, Baez batting now with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. 2-2 count to Baez, and he hits one a mile. That is going to be gone to left center field. Baez just hit a 2-run home run, scoring Fletcher, and the Cubs take a 2-0 lead. That was a 413-foot home run to kind of the left field, left center side of center field. But Bernie stays dry for that home run. Hauser now facing Schwarber with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the first inning. 1-1 count to Schwarber. Here's the pitch. He hits one into left field. Yelich lets that drop in front of him, and Schwarber has a base hit. Yelich apparently decided he would rather take the one hop rather than attempt to dive and make the catch. So with Schwarber standing on first, here is Chris Bryant batting with a 1-1 count, and he has a base hit right up the middle. Kane cuts it off in center field. Schwarber, showing some speed, gets all the way to third base on that single. He just never stopped running. He turned the corner at second base and headed directly for third. Fifth hit of the inning for the Cubs, bringing up Wilson Contreras now with 2 outs and runners on first and third. Contreras gets the 0-1 pitch, and he hits one into the gap in right center field. Schwarber comes home to score. Bryant is going to come all the way around, and he is going to score, but it looks like Contreras attempted to advance to third base behind the throw, and he is thrown out at third. The Bryant run does count. The Cubs are up 4-0, and Contreras is thrown out on third, attempting to stretch a double into a triple. A little bit of an offensive outburst for the Cubs here in the top of the first inning. And a 4-0 lead for Quintana going into the bottom of the first. Quintana looks in. He faces Lorenzo Cain, the Brewers' leadoff batter. Here's the pitch. Cain hits it on the ground to third base. Bryant fields cleanly, throws over to first for the first out in the bottom of the first. Quintana now looks into Garcia with a 2-2 count. He delivers the pitch. Garcia hits one, and he gets it past the jumping Bryant at third base. He attempted to jump up and grab that, but to no avail. Relay throw comes into the shortstop Baez, and Garcia stops at first. Brings up Yelich with 1 out and a runner on first. 2-2 count. And he hits one. That's going to be a base hit into right field. Hayward runs up on it. He makes the play, gets the ball back into the infield quickly. Garcia stops at second. And the Brewers have something going now with runners on first and second and 1 out. Infield's at double play depth. And Keston Hiura is the batter now with a 1-2 count. Quintana makes the pitch, and it's popped up. It's out of the screen, but Bryant looks like he's chasing it down, and he is going to make the squeeze for the second out. And now Quintana will face Logan Morrison with 2 men on and 2 men out in the bottom of the first inning. With a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss. And Quintana got him to strike out on the changeup. Well, good work getting out of the inning there, Quintana. The Cubs go to the top of the second inning, up 4-0. Hauser coming out to pitch again after allowing 4 runs in the top of the first inning, facing Almora, the Cubs' number 8 hitter. 0-2 count. And Almora swings and misses on a changeup. Strikeout to start out the inning for Hauser. And now he will face the pitcher Quintana with an 0-1 count. Quintana hits a fly ball. The center fielder's shading back a little bit, but it looks like he's going to make the play on it, and he does. And that'll be the second out of the inning for the Cubs. Now we have the leadoff hitter, Jason Hayward. Hit a double in the first inning, but was thrown out at home attempting to advance on the base hit by Fletcher. 2-0 count to Hayward. And Hayward knocks a base hit into right field. That's going to be a single as Garcia got that ball back in quickly. 2 outs and 1 man on, and Fletcher is up again. 2-2 count. Fletcher hits a base hit directly up the middle, just straight over the bag into center field. Cain has it. He throws to third base. Hayward's showing some more aggressive base running. This time he is safe at third as he advances from first to third on the Fletcher single. Now Anthony Rizzo is coming up. Runners on first and third, 2 outs. Hauser still pitching, and Rizzo is the batter. 3-1 count to Rizzo. That pitch is inside, and Rizzo draws the walk. That'll load the bases for Javier Baez. How much latitude do you think Hauser's going to be allowed in this game? Brewers' bullpen didn't exactly perform very well yesterday, and it looks like they might be getting an early call in this game as well. 2-0 count to Baez. Here's the pitch. Baez takes an inside pitch. He fights it off into center field. Kane is coming in, and he puts it away for the 3rd out. Cubs do not score in that inning. They leave the bases loaded. Still up 4-0 going to the bottom of the 2nd. Quintana now pitching to the shortstop, Arcia. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. And there's a ground ball to short. Baez has it. He throws across the diamond to first. Rizzo puts it away for the 1st out of the inning. Now Quintana will face the lefty catcher, Narvaez, with a 1-1 count. Narvaez hits a fly ball to left center field. Shading over is Almora, and he's able to reach up and put it away for the 2nd out. That'll bring up Eric Sogard with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 1-1 count. And there's a ground ball to short. Baez, again, fields cleanly, throws over to Rizzo to retire the side. The Brewers are retired in order, and we go to the top of the 3rd with the Cubs still leading 4-0. Well, Hauser is coming out to pitch again in the top of the 3rd. He was fortunate to escape the top of the 2nd with no damage done. We'll see if he can keep the deficit at 4 right here. 0-1 count to Schwarber, who mashes it on the ground over toward first base. Morrison picks it up and hustles over to the bag to make the force. Bryant now is up, batting with 1 out, nobody on in the top of the 3rd. Here's the pitch. Bryant hits it on the ground, and the 3rd baseman fields. Sogard to Morrison, and the out is recorded. 2 outs now, nobody on, and Contreras is the batter. Hauser with the very first pitch to Contreras, and Contreras knocks it into left center field. That is going to go all the way to the wall. Contreras turning on the wheels. He rounds first, headed for 2nd. He slides into second base with a 2-out double. And Contreras keeps the inning alive. Almora comes up now with Contreras standing on 2nd and 2 out. Hauser with the pitch to Almora, and this is going to be an intentional walk. They're going to put Almora on first to set up the force and pitch to the opposing pitcher, Quintana. Two-two count to Quintana. Here's the pitch, and Quintana gets it past the 3rd baseman into left field. Is the runner going to turn around and try to score? Yes, he is. Here comes a close play at the plate, and he is safe. No, Quintana makes a mockery of the intentional walk to bring him up, gets an RBI single, drives in Contreras from second base. Almora is now standing on 2nd. Quintana's on first, 2 men on. Hayward is the batter with 2 outs and a 5-0 Cub lead in the top of the 3rd. 2-2 count to Hayward. Here's the pitch. Hayward, straightaway center field. Kane takes some steps in, and he is going to put that away for the 3rd out. Quintana helps his own cause with an RBI single in the top of the 3rd inning. Cubs now lead 5-0. And I apparently missed it, but the Brewers brought in Josh Lindblom. Oh, that was the wrong thing. Return to game. We need to see the box score. Lindblom recorded the third out in the third inning. So Craig Counsell apparently had seen enough of Hauser, got him out of the game. His line was 2 2/3, 10 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 2 walks, a strikeout, and a home run. And now Lindblom is batting for himself here in the bottom of the third inning. Quintana with an 0-2 pitch to Lindblom. Strike 3 called. Froze him with a cutter. Good pitch right there by Quintana. Brings up Kane with 1 out and nobody on. Bottom of the third inning. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And Kane swings and misses on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Kane was only holding on to the bat with one hand right there. Quintana now pitches to Garcia with 2 outs and nobody on. First pitch to Garcia. And he hits it, skies it out into center field. Should be an easy play for Almora, and he brings it in for the third out. Brewers are retired in order in the bottom of the third. And we now go to the Cubs half of the fourth inning with a 5-0 Cub lead. Lindblom now will pitch to Fletcher to lead off the fourth inning. Fletcher hits it on the ground to third base. Throw over to first is in time, and that will record the first out in the top of the fourth inning. Rizzo now the batter against Lindblom. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Here's the pitch. And he watches it go by just a hair inside. Rizzo walks down to first. The Cubs have a base runner now. 1 man on for Baez with 1 out. Here is the pitch. Baez hits another shot out to left field. That might be, it is gone. Baez hits a home run. And that is going to give the Cubs a 7-0 lead. Very first pitch to Baez, and he was swinging. And Baez now has 2 home runs in this game. Schwarber is now the batter with 1 out in the top of the fourth. Kyle Schwarber hits one into right field. Garcia should get that. He pulls it in for the second out. Chris Bryant now is the batter with a 2-2 count. And Bryant gets the pitch. And he swings and misses for the third out. Well, that'll end the inning. Cubs get 2 more on the Baez home run, the second Baez home run of the day. And now lead the game 7-0 going into the bottom of the fourth. Quintana pitching to Yelich. Here's a full count pitch. Swing and a miss. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Quintana reached back, got a little extra mustard on that one. Threw it right past Yelich. Quintana now pitching to Hiura with 1 out and nobody on. 2-1 count. And Hiura slaps it on the ground towards short. Baez. Oh, Baez was not able to get the out. He lost it on the transfer. They're crediting him with an infield hit for Hiura. A very generous infield hit, in my opinion. So, Logan Morrison now comes up to bat against the lefty Quintana with 1 man on and 1 man out. Full count to Logan Morrison. And there is a strikeout on a changeup. Excellent change of pace there by the pitcher Quintana to strike out Morrison. 2 outs now, runner on first, and Arcia is the batter. First pitch to Arcia, and the runner's going. Contreras does not get a good jump on it, and he doesn't even bother with a throw down to second. Hiura is allowed to take the base uncontested. Arcia now with a 1-2 count, and he hits one into right field. Looks like that is going to drop. That drops in front of Hayward for a base hit. And Hayura is coming all the way around to score. The throw came home, but it was short. It was late as Hayura slid in and scores the Brewers' first run. Arcia is now standing on first with 2 outs, and Navarez is the batter. Quintana pitching with a 1-2 count to Navarez. He hits one in the air to right field. A diving Hayward comes up with it to end the inning. Excellent defensive play by Hayward. And that is going to end the Brewers' half of the 4th inning. That looked like it was going to go all the way to the wall, but Hayward cut it off with a brilliant defensive play. Now we have Lindblom pitching to Contreras, the number 7 hitter, in the Cubs' half of the top of the 5th inning. Full count to Contreras. And there's a single right up the middle, just a line shot into center field. Contreras is going to be standing on first after a big turn. And Almora will come up with 1 on and nobody out. First pitch to Almora, swinging. He skies it out to right field. It looks like that's going to be a routine play, and it is. Contreras thinks briefly about tagging up and thinks better of it. Quintana now is going to bat with 1 out and Contreras standing on first. Here's Quintana. He lays down the bunt, and the only throw is to go to first base. Well, the sacrifice advances Contreras to second, which brings up Hayward, looking to drive in that all-important 8th run here in the top of the 5th inning. 1-2 count to Hayward. He hits it on the ground. The second baseman, Hayura, has it, flips it to the pitcher, who's covering first, and a close play, but they retire Hayward on the ground ball. Well, no runs scored. Still 7-1 Cubs going into the bottom of the 5th inning. Quintana will face Sogard as the first batter for the Brewers in the bottom of the 5th. 1 ball count. Here's the pitch. Sogard, pretty well hit, gets it past it, Fletcher into right field for a single to lead off the Brewers' half of the 5th inning. Lindblom now is the batter. The pitcher, Lindblom, who knows, maybe Counsell will have him sacrificed too, with Sogard on first and nobody out. And there's the bunt down the first base line. Rizzo charges, and he throws it to Fletcher, who's covering first. The second baseman, Fletcher, was covering first. Now, the Brewers have a runner on second and 1 out, and Lorenzo Cain is the batter. 3-1 count, and Quintana loses him. Quintana walks Lorenzo Cain to put runners on first and second with 1 out. Brewers half of the 5th inning, and Garcia is now the batter. Quintana with a full count to Garcia. He hits it right up the middle. The shift was on, but he still managed to hit it over the second baseman's head into center field. The Brewers now have the bases loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning, and Christian Yelich is now the batter. Critical situation here for Christian Yelich, and a chance to earn all those millions that the Brewers are paying him. Yelich with a 2-0 count. Here's Quintana's pitch. He hits it to straightaway center field, but Almora is there to make the catch. He fires it all the way home as the runner tries to tag up and score. He is safe on a very close play at home. Brewers get their second run of the game on the Yelich sacrifice fly to center field. That will bring up Keston Hayura, now with runners on first and second and 2 out. And the Cubs still with a 5-run lead. 0-1 pitch to Hayura, and he also hits it to center field, but much higher and an easier track for Almora to take to get to that ball. He retires for the 3rd out. The Brewers do get one more run back. They are now down 7-2 going into the top of the sixth, and Lindblom is going to continue to pitch for the Brewers. Full count now. David Fletcher's the batter. Fletcher strikes out on a high fastball. Lindblom just went right up the ladder with him. High, and higher, and strikes him out with a fastball out of the strike zone, up around his eyes. Here is Rizzo batting with one out, nobody on in the top of the sixth inning. 3-1 count to Rizzo, and he watches ball 4 go by low. Rizzo walks down to first base. Baez is now the batter. He'll be batting with the Cubs up by 5. 1 out and a runner on first. Full count to Baez. Here's the pitch. Ooh, Baez is hit. Oh, that's bad form. Baez had 2 home runs already in this game, and now Lindblom just plunked him with a fastball in the left shoulder. That is very bad form on the part of the Brewers. Lindblom now is going to pitch to Schwarber with 2 men on and 1 out. Baez is still nodding his head in disbelief over there on first base. 2-2 count to Schwarber. Here is the pitch. Schwarber hits a fly ball to right field. Arcia actually allows it to drop. I'm not sure if that was an error or if that just took one hop in front of him. It looks like that was an error. It looks like Garcia actually dropped the ball in right field. Should have been a routine fly ball for the second out. And now the Cubs have the bases loaded with Bryant batting against Lindblom here in the top of the sixth inning. 2-1 count to Bryant. He hits it on the ground. The diving Sogard makes the play. Oh, but he throws it away. He throws it away, and it goes down the right field line. 2 runs have scored. Bryant is on second base. And the Cubs are now up 9-2. Man, the Brewers' defense is really just falling apart here in the sixth inning. That's 2 errors on back-to-back plays. So Schwarber is now standing at third. Bryant is at second. Contreras bats with 1 out, 2 men on in the top of the sixth inning. Cubs with a 9-2 lead. Lindblom looks in. He pitches to Contreras. Contreras pops it up on the infield. That's going to be a pretty easy play. First baseman Morrison looks up and he has it in foul territory. Almora is now the batter with 2 outs and 2 men on in the top of the sixth inning. 0-1 pitch. Almora hits it well, but on the ground directly at Sogard. This time he makes a clean throw over to first base. Morrison puts it away for the 3rd out. Cubs score 2 more runs, unearned, in the top of the sixth inning, and have retaken a 7-run lead, 9-2 over the Brewers. Quintana coming out for his 6th inning of work. He is at 83 pitches. And he is going to face Logan Morrison. He'll have the 5, 6, 7 batters to face in this inning. 1-2 count on Morrison. And there's a fly ball. He hit it against the shift, but Schwarber will not have a problem getting to this. He takes a few steps toward the left field line and puts it away for the 1st out. Arcia now is the batter. Full count to Arcia as Quintana looks in and makes the pitch. And he strikes him out with a changeup. Excellent change of speed there by Quintana to strike out Arcia for the 2nd out. Navarez will now bat with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the 6th inning. Full count to Navarez. And a swing and a miss on an inside fastball. Quintana looked pretty sharp in that inning. Quintana now has been taken out for a pinch hitter. If we look at it, we will see that Quintana's line for this game, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a walk, and 7 strikeouts, exactly 100 pitches. And he would be in line to win the game should the current score hold. Jason Kipnis is going to be the pinch hitter for Quintana in the top of the 7th inning. Kipnis has the full count, and he smashes one into right field. The right fielder Garcia looks up, but it is gone. Another home run for the Cubs. Bernie the Brewer, he's going to have to drink away his sorrows over there in left field because he doesn't get to go down his slide today. Cubs are up 10-2 now with just an offensive outburst. And now Josh Fegley is going to be the pinch hitter for a Hayward as Lindblom continues to pitch. He's at 77 pitches now for the Brewers here in the top of the 7th inning. Fegley is making his first appearance of the season with a 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. And he knocks a base hit into left center field. That's going all the way to the wall. Fegley turns on the motors. He cruises all the way to second base. Is he going to go for 3? No, he's going to slide into second with a double. Excellent hit there by Josh Fegley for his first base hit of the season, an extra base hit even. And Fletcher is now the batter against Lindblom, with a runner on second and nobody out. Full count to Fletcher, and he watches ball 4 go by inside. Well, I guess that sets up the double play for the Brewers, but I don't think it's exactly the outcome they wanted. Here's another relief pitcher. Craig Counsell had finally seen enough. He brings in the left-handed pitcher, Chris Lee, to relieve Lindblom. And Lee, because there was no double switch, will stand to bat second in the bottom of the 7th inning. Rizzo now the batter with 2 men on and nobody out in the top of the 7th inning. 2-2 count to Rizzo. Lee looks in. Here's the pitch. Oh, he tried to check his swing, but he could not. Rizzo, on the 102-mile-an-hour fastball, strikes out on a check swing. That's tough. Baez is now the batter. He already has 2 home runs today, and then he was nailed with a fastball at the shoulder the last time he came up. Lee now pitching to Baez with 2 men on and 1 out. Full count to Baez. Here's the pitch, and he watches ball 4 go by. That pitch must have been very high for Baez not to even offer at it. Lee now pitching to Schwarber with the bases loaded and 1 out. The Cubs have a 10-2 lead in the top of the 7th inning. 1-2 count to Schwarber. Here's the pitch. On the ground over to first base. He steps on first for 1, tries to throw to second, but they would have to tag him. And Morrison is not able to turn the double play. The run also scores. I think that Morrison probably should have gone home with that throw. He stepped on first, and that removed the force out at second. And even though he threw it to second, a tag was needed to retire that batter, and it didn't happen. The Cubs now have 2 runs in. They're up 11-2 here in the top of the 7th. Chris Bryant is batting with Baez on second and Fletcher on third. Lee with an 0-2 pitch to Bryant, and he swings and misses. Struck him out with the fastball at 92. Well, the 7th inning sausage race is going on here in Milwaukee. Can't say who the winner was, but pretty sure that all of the participants fell down at some point. Here is Sogard batting, and the Cubs have brought in a relief pitcher, Alec Mills, to throw the bottom of the 7th inning. Mills is getting his first work of the year. 2-2 pitch to Sogard. Mills looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball. Bryant comes in, charges, throws to first, and retires Sogard for the first out. Brock Holt will now be the pinch hitter for the Brewers. In the bottom of the 7th inning, Holt looking to get something started as the Brewers are down by 9 runs. 1-1 pitch to Holt. That'll be a ground ball to second base. Fletcher throws to first and retires Holt. 2 outs now, nobody on, and Ben Gamble is the next pinch hitter. Alec Mills looks in. Here's the pitch. And Gambles knocks a single into right into center field. Into right center field? I don't know, that's a bit of a turn of words. Gamble is standing on first with a single. Garcia is now the batter with 2 outs and 1 man on, bottom of the 7th inning. 1 strike. Oh, and that wild pitch. It gets past Contreras. Gamble is going to go down and take second base. Garcia is still batting with a 1-1 count. And here is the pitch. Mills. And there's a ground ball. Baez to Rizzo to record the 3rd out of the inning. Mills allows a base runner, but gets out of the inning unscathed. Cubs go to the top of the 8th now, leading 11-2. Brewers bring in right-handed pitcher Devin Williams to face Contreras in the top of the 8th inning. 0-2 count to Contreras. And here is the pitch. Contreras swings and misses at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Almora will now bat with 1 out, nobody on in the top of the 8th inning. 1-1 count to Almora. And here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to third base. Almora is hustling down toward first, but he is going to be out by half of a step. It was a very close play at first. That'll bring up pinch hitter Steven Souza. No, I'm sorry. Steven Souza was inserted into right field for Hayward, and in the double switch, Alec Mills became the leadoff hitter. So, Steven Souza is the batter, batting against the pitcher, Williams. Full count to Souza with 2 outs, nobody on. And a swing and a miss at another fastball. Williams has a really good fastball. I think he got 2 strikeouts on the fastball that inning. So, Alec Mills is going to start his 2nd inning of work. And he is going to start out pitching to Yelich. He'll have the Brewers 3-4-5 batters here in the bottom of the 8th. Full count to Yelich. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Mills threw that one up and in to Yelich and got him to strike out. Here is Hiura. And the Cubs, manager David Ross brings in Cam Bedrosian now to pitch to Hiura, getting him some work in the 9-run lead in the 8th inning of a 9-run game. 1-2 count. Bedrosian looks in. And here comes the pitch. And that is going to be a shot to left field. Schwarber looks up, but it is gone. Keston Hiura just hit a home run to the seats in left field. And Bernie gets to splash down his slide for the first time today. Score is now 11-3 in favor of the Cubs. Bedrosian now pitching to Logan Morrison with an 8-run lead in the bottom of the 8th. 2-2 pitch. Here is the pitch. Popped up over toward first base. Rizzo looks up and he puts it away for the 2nd out. Well, that'll bring up Arcia, the shortstop, with the Cubs leading 11-3. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the 8th inning. 0-1 pitch to Arcia. Bedrosian looks in. And here's a ground ball up the middle. Baez fields, throws over to first, And the throw is late. Arcia hustles, and he is able to get an infield hit to his credit. That'll bring up Narvaez with 2 outs and a man on, and the Cubs put a pretty significant shift on against Narvaez. They've got Baez playing on the right field side of second base. Here's the pitch to Narvaez, 1-2. And a little floater. It's going to get just over the first baseman's head, going down the line into right field. Souza was able to react quickly to that. Because the shift was on, he was already pretty close to the right field line to begin with. He cut it off and held Narvaez to a single. Now the Brewers have first and second with 2 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to second base. Fletcher has it, throws to first, and that'll retire the side. Sogard grounds out to end the inning. Cubs go to the top of the 9th inning with an 11-3 lead. Williams is now going to continue to pitch. First batter he will face is another pinch hitter, Ian Happ, in the top of the 9th inning. 1-2 count to Happ, batting from the left side. And Happ swings and misses on what looked like a pitch that broke to the outside. Very strange break on that pitch from Williams. So Happ is the first out, and here is Fletcher with 1 out, nobody on, top of the 9th inning. 1-2 count. Fletcher gets a ground ball over to third base. Sogard throws to Morrison, and the second out is recorded in the top of the 9th inning. That'll bring up Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo is 0 for 2 on the day, and he is standing in now with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 9th inning. 1-2 count to Rizzo. Here's the pitch. Rizzo skies it to center field. Kane is going to walk a couple steps toward right and put it away for the 3rd out. That'll end the Cubs' half of the 9th inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th, and the Cubs are carrying an 11-3 lead. And manager David Ross brings out a new pitcher. We have Trevor McGill standing on the mound to face a pinch hitter. Craig Counsell's response to the pitching change is Ryan Braun being brought in as a pinch hitter. First pitch, McGill to Braun. He looks in. Here it comes. And Braun starts it out by wrapping a base hit into left field. Schwarber plays it on 2 hops out in left field, fires it back into the infield quickly, and Braun is held at first. I'll bring up Ben Gamel, who is 1 for 1, pinch hit earlier in the game. Gamel is batting with Braun on first and nobody out in the bottom of the 9th inning. There's a ground ball to second base. Over to shortstop covering second for the first out. Baez relays to first to complete the double play. 4-6-3 double play. And the Brewers now have 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the 9th inning. Avisail Garcia is going to bat against Trevor McGill. Here is the pitch. Garcia knocks it on the ground over toward Bryant at third. Bryant fires across the diamond to Rizzo, and that is going to end the ball game. The Cubs complete a series victory over the Brewers, winning 2 out of 3 here in Milwaukee, with an 11-3 win in Game 3. So let's take a little look at the box score. For our post-game analysis today, we're going to see that the Cubs scored 11 runs on 14 hits and no errors. They basically led the entire game. The Brewers scored 3 runs on 11 hits and committed 2 errors. The story of the game is definitely Javier Baez with his 2 home runs in his first 2 at-bats. He is listed as the player of the game today. Quintana picked up his first win of the season. He was very effective. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. Threw exactly 100 pitches, recorded a quality start, and his first win of the season. On the Brewers side, Hauser is handed the loss. Only lasted 2 2/3, allowed 10 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, and a homer. And that'll do it for this broadcast. The Cubs go to 2-1. The Brewers drop to 1-2. Thanks for listening.